Hello everyone, this is Susie Q, Susie Q's Happy Little Haven, and welcome to my nursery room window. Today I have Katie Lynn with me, and we are going to be doing a twinning video with Suzanne of Suzanne's babies. She has a sculpt exactly like this little girl, the Yannik sculpt, and her baby's name is Matilda-Jane, and she did a video today with a particular dress that she had sent a while back, and that she had sent to me a while back, and so I looked in my wardrobe closet. I knew that I had it, but I was hoping that I would have other twinning things to go along with it, and I think I found some things that would match up pretty well with Matilda-Jane. So let's go ahead and get started. And I will show you what I've chosen, Suzanne. And first of all, let me get this little girl straightened up here. So here's the dress that you chose for Matilda-Jane today. And by the way, I thought she looked really, really pretty in it. The colors in this dress really suited her hair. And I think the same thing with her hair too, with Katie Lynn's hair, because her hair is has got a bit of a reddish tint to it. So anyway, I think this color looks really great on both little girls. And then along with the dress, Suzanne had chosen some sort of off-white tights. And I have these tights that she had sent along with another dress that she had sent for Maggie May. So I thought those would work really good. The shoes, I don't have the same sort of shoes that Suzanne had for her Matilda-Jane, but I found these, they're denim shoes, and they're not quite, dark navy, but I thought that they would go along with the blues that are in the flowers of the dress. And they got cute little bows on them too, little, they're sort of satiny, shiny bows. So I hope those work out for you, Suzanne. And then you put really cute little bright yellow bows in Matilda-Jane's hair. And so I found these bows. These are headbands, really, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and use them like bows. I'm just going to twist them around in her hair, in her ponytails, and put them in like that. So they're not an exact match, but they do have the bright yellow of Matilda-Jane's bows. And then Katie Lynn has pierced ears, and so I chose these pretty blue earrings to go in her ears today. And what else? Oh, and I wanted to put this, there's a couple of other things. I wanted to put this onesie on her, which has the same type of daisies on the dress, and if you'll see, you can see that each of the daisy centers are different colors. Yellow and pink and blue, lavender, and and white too. And I just thought that this would go really well underneath the dress. But then I went a step further, because this is just me. I want to put this slip underneath. Because I wanted to make the dress fuller on her. And so I've used this slip before on my little girls, and I just love it. It's a linen outer slip, and then underneath it has sort of like, like a linen, it's also the same type of linen ruffled skirt with lace on the edging. And yeah, that's all the layers to it. So it has these little satin bows in the front, all kinds of lace there, and then in the back it buttons with 3 buttons, and then it ties up with this little tie. So that's your slip. This can also be worn as a summer dress, which I haven't done yet. Whenever I bring this on, I always use it as a slip, but I always say that it could be a really cute summer dress too. So now that I have little Katie Lynn, maybe she'll be wearing this summer. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started and get little Katie Lynn all dressed up, and so that she can have her twin day with Matilda-Jane. and she wanted to say hi to Matilda-Jane. The last time that I had this little girl on, just a couple of days ago, we forgot to say hi to Matilda-Jane. And, you know, after the video was over, Lynn, you know, reminded me that that's what I should have done, and I felt so bad. So this time we're going to make sure that we say, hi, Matilda-Jane, and hi, Suzanne of Suzanne's Babies. Watching your video today really, really brightened my day. And I'll explain what's been going on at our house lately. We had a very challenging weekend. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. And so, in fact, well, anyway, I'll let you, so I'll tell you what happened. So the first thing that happened was the power went out. And it's been super, super windy. And so my thoughts are, I mean, it's just really super hard winds. And they, you know, the song, March Roared Out Like a Lion, I think that's a song from The Sound of Music. Anyway, they're right when they say March roared out like a lion, because it's the end of March and we're getting all these super strong winds. We have a lot of trees on our property, and I'm sure, and I mean, it's not just our property, we have a lot of trees where we live in West Virginia. I mean, West Virginia has tons of trees anyway, but anyway, my point is, what happens sometimes is that it gets so windy that some of the trees are dead trees, and the branches are dead. And right now, especially because our green on our trees hasn't started coming on, and so the leaves are the limbs are still bare, and so the wind causes tree limbs to just snap off, or it causes trees just to fall down into our power lines. And here in West Virginia, our power lines are above the ground power lines. I know that in a lot of places, like I know California is one of them that has their power lines are buried, and so they don't really have to worry about those kind of things in most parts of California. But here we have above the ground power lines. So if a tree happens to fall over on a power line, there goes electricity. And so anyway, I called up the power company. I have a landline phone that I use. It's not electrical, so I have that as my emergency phone. So I called them up and I told them, that we didn't have power and it went off and all that stuff. And I asked them, I said, has anyone else had this problem and in our area? And she said, yes, there's 350 people that their power is out right now. And so I thought, oh good, it's not just me in my area. I mean, not that I wanted anybody to have the same issue as me, but I'm just saying, the more people that have an issue, the more of an emergency it is, and the power company, goes out and, as quick as they can to go take care of things. So, but anyway, she estimated that the time that it would come back on, the power would come back on, would be about 3 hours. And so anyway, so that started out I think it was Saturday, it might have been, that the power had gone off. So I thought, well, we had been watching TV at the time, and it was in the morning. So I thought, oh, I have a project that I could get my husband to do, because he normally works outside, when the weather's nice, and so he doesn't, I don't like to bother him with little indoor projects when he's working outside. So when things like this happen, I try to think, what can I get him to do? What can I get him to do? One of the things that also happened recently was my little floor vacuum my little floor vacuum gave out. It was like the motor wouldn't go, and I couldn't figure it out. You know, I'm hesitating because I don't think I need a onesie and a slip. I really don't. A slip can take care of everything that this onesie will do. So I will save that for another time. But I really do love this onesie. I love it because of the little thin straps, and, you know, full-armed babies can wear it. So we'll just put that aside for now. See, I'm just I'm just winging it. And I think sometimes we do that. And I still have her cloth diaper on with her vinyl little panties, which I love her in. So let's see. Let's go ahead and put her slip on. So anyway, I told my husband about the little vacuum. It's a little floor vac, just a simple little floor vac. And I said, you know, this is my favorite vacuum, and it's not been working. And so I asked him to take a look at it, and he did. And he took it all apart. It's really a complicated little vacuum to take apart. And I want to add too that my husband is, and for those of you that you know have heard me say this before, I'm sorry to repeat myself again, but he's an engineer type guy. He used to work in engineering, but his brain is just I call him an engineer brain because he can just take a look at something, anything, and he can fix it, or he can figure out what needs to be done to get it fixed. He's just very very smart that way. So I asked my engineer husband if he could take a look at it. So he took it apart, and, you know, he wanted to make sure that the motor was still in working order, and it was. And anyway, it took him a bit to find out, but what had happened was, it was just a really simple fix that could have been fixed without, I don't think we would have needed to take it apart. What it is I have long hair, and so sometimes what will happen is when my hair falls out, you know, as hair normally does, you know, then I vacuum the rugs or whatever, and the hair gets caught up in the roller of the vacuum. And not just the roller, but, you know, the very ends of the roller that actually plug into the vacuum that makes it go around and around. Well, it also gets tangled up in there. So anyway, he discovered that that's what had happened, and that oh, this has a little, I've forgotten this has a little snap, so it makes it easier to go over the head. But anyway, so he ended up cleaning out the roller and getting it all fixed up for me, and I was all set, you know, perfect project, got my vacuum back, and it was wonderful. Then I told him, I said, you know, I have another project for you if you don't mind doing another project. And he said, sure. And I said, the other day, just a couple of days ago, I wasn't able to shut my pantry door, and so I looked at it. It wasn't anything that was up above or along the edge of the door. It was actually down below, and let's see, it was the woodwork, the opening, you know, like the woodwork that the door closes into. And it was down below, and I felt it. It looked kind of puffy, and I felt it, and I looked at it, and I go, this is wet. You know, this is a, you know, how did this get wet like this, you know? So, anyway, I asked him to take a look, because when I looked up above, I thought, well, maybe it was a matter of, you know, the roof leaking coming in from the top, the ceiling leaking, all that stuff, but there's no ceiling leak. Anyway, he pulled the refrigerator out, and lo and behold, what happened in the refrigerator, or behind the refrigerator, was our reverse osmosis, which is, it's our filter system for our drinking water. anyway, the reverse osmosis, the plastic tubing had broken, and it was spilling water all underneath the refrigerator. And it had been doing that for I don't know how long. I don't know how long it had been leaking like that. But it had leaked long enough to where it ruined the edge of the door. It ruined the wall. It ruined the baseboard, and then on the other side of the refrigerator, the cupboard, the side of the cupboard, actually had soaked it up to about 8 inches, and it ruined that too. So it was, and oh, might I mention that it ruined the floor underneath. And it's just, it's vinyl. But anyway, so when we saw that, he got behind the refrigerator, and, I brought him some towels, and he had to mop up all the water behind there and on the floor and stuff. And then he has parts for everything. And yes, Suzanne, I'm going to interrupt for a second. I remember on your video you said, yeah, these little babies with these little froggy legs. I don't know if you said froggy legs or not, but I call them froggy legs. They are a challenge to get tights on because they're so, they're so curved in. Let me push this down. I didn't realize I was chatting away, and I didn't realize that you couldn't see what I was doing here. But anyway, we'll get these little tights up, her little froggy legs. But they fit pretty good, I think. So yeah, let's see. I'm going to pull this up. I think I'll pick her up to pull up the back. Get it all situated. So yeah, we had quite a mess on our hands with all that water and stuff, and he usually has parts that are just extra parts and stuff, but he couldn't find an extra part that he could repair that water line. So since it's our drinking water, and we have to have drinking water, he had to go out and be out and about, and he called a few places to make sure that they were open. I think that was on a Sunday, and so Tractor Supply was open, and that's all the way into Weston, which is about a 45-minute one-way drive. But they were open, and he was able to get the part, and so that worked out really well. He brought it back, and then he fixed it, and it was a couple of hour operation for him. So, meanwhile, so about the time that he was done with that, it wasn't too long after he finished that project that our power came back on, and so that worked out pretty good. But the funny thing was, so when he it was during the time that we didn't have power, After he fixed the vacuum, he plugged it in, and he said, okay, so why don't you try it? And of course, I'm not thinking that we don't have power, so I turn it on, and I go, oh, shoot, it doesn't work. And then he goes, well, oh, that's right, the power's off. So, I don't know. But anyways, after the power came back on, I found that my little vacuum worked perfectly. I was very happy. But I'll tell you what, I also have an awesome broom that I keep in my closet too, along with where my vacuums are. So why I say it's an awesome broom, because it's like really stiff brushes, and it will actually I can sweep my it's like a runner carpet. I can sweep my runner carpet, and also the carpet that's directly underneath my sink, and I can sweep and just get it clean like that. So that's my emergency that's my emergency backup system. And so that's what I was doing, and I don't mind sweeping. Sweeping to me I mean, sometimes even when my vacuum was working, I would use a broom because I enjoy sweeping. It's just relaxing to me. And and when I sweep the floors, I feel like I'm getting every single bit, you know. So that's how that goes. Yeah, I love her in pigtails. Love, 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 love. Matilda-Jane looks really cute in pigtails too, and so I wanted to show Suzanne. This is how long Katie Lynn's hair is, and so I don't know. When I was watching your video today, it looked like Matilda-Jane's ponies were this long, but maybe they're longer. I don't know. But you were talking about cutting them off to there or something. But anyway, I just didn't know if I told you in my comments that I felt, you know, I think that their hair, their twin sisters' hair is the same length. So, but you can let me know if you think so. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is these earrings. But first I want to put these little bows in. And I haven't done it this way before, so we'll see how this works. Because like I said, these are headbands. And I'm used to using them as headbands. So let me see how I can do this. I think it's going to work. I just have to straighten out the bow when I get done. But I loved Matilda-Jane when Suzanne got when you got done with her, Suzanne, with her little ponies were all sticking out like that. She looked darling. Are you kidding me? So. But there, I think that's going to work really good, and I love that you chose yellow to, you know, as a to coordinate with the yellow daisies in the dress. So let me put the other one on. And today I was also going to do Suzanne's 10 question tag that she did recently, but I'm looking at the time and I have run out of time for that. So I am going to be doing Suzanne's 10 question tag on my next video. So be looking out for that. I just, you know, I chatted too long about my unfortunate weekend and I ran out of time. But you know me, that's what I do. I tend to get going and get chatting like that. So what do you think? This one is turning out a little differently. There we go. She looks really cute. Okay, last but not least, these earrings. So did I show you? I'm not sure. I'm going to use these earrings, these top blue ones, and take out these little sparkly heart ones. Put these earrings in. Oh, those look really pretty. Really pretty. Oops. Put the other one in. Yeah. They just poke right in. I don't have to use the backing at all. So it's pretty easy. Okay, there she is. And let me go ahead and lift her up. There's her puffy little dress. I probably could have not had the slip underneath, but I like to improvise, and so I think she's going to look really cute just sitting there with her puffy little dress puffed out like that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my video. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and Suzanne, thank you for doing a twinning video with Matilda-Jane. Katie Lynn says hi to Matilda-Jane, and she's so happy to have a twin sister living in the UK. Anyway, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe and well, and thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.